Hey everybody, D Amazing here, bringing another review. This time is of the SH Figuarts Hover Tank Commander Pilot. So, let's get started. So, if you look a little close, you can see that the Hover Tank Pilot is actually a little closer to the Shore Trooper, aka Scarif Trooper, in design, but there are slight differences. But anyway, let's get into the review. This figure actually is pretty cool. I mean, it's not as cool as the Shore Trooper in my opinion, but it is very nice. It has a huge gap with the problem of ab crunch, and although it leans forward, that's about as far as you get. You don't get the really good ab crunch that you get from the new Rogue One, the Death Trooper, or the Short Trooper. But the upper arm articulation is very nice. There's bicep swivel. The shoulder pads are on the actual figure, so I really like that they do that. Because when you add the shoulder pads on the figure, I feel like it hinders articulation. I just can't get really cool poses that way. One thing I'm really liking is that the new joint system, where basically like I can rotate it within the radius here. Sometimes the little ball joint here is a little weird, but for the most part, I've grown very comfortable with it. What's really cool is that these flaps can come up so it doesn't hinder what you do when you do the drop down pull out leg. When you do the drop down pull out leg method. That was a tongue twister. One of the problems though that I'm having with the Hover Tank Pilot is that even though it looks really nice, when you rotate the leg in, this part right here is actually pretty hindered. So what happens is, even though I can get really cool stuff, his leg always looks really weird in this position. But that could just be me. I mean, it's something that bothers me personally. It probably won't bother other people. There's plenty of ankle pivot, both in and out, so you can get really cool ways and cool things to do. Legs actually come about this far. It is double jointed, so if you had the Girl Un Panzer tank, he could actually sit in it pretty well. So that's one thing you won't have to worry about. If you want to sit him in an actual tank, he'll do pretty well. I don't know why my shoulder pad's falling off. One thing I did think that was really cool though is that the helmet design. Considering that the Scarif Trooper is one of my the coolest designs that I enjoy, I think the Hover Tank Pilot's mask has now become something I really enjoy. And back to what I was saying before, but the Short Trooper, the chest design is pretty similar. The shoulder design also pretty similar. Helmets are different, waist area is different, but the legs actually even similar as well. But for me, the Short Trooper actually just gets it better. Or maybe I'm just tripping, but I feel like the Short Trooper actually come across the idea of articulation better. But the Hover Tank Pilot is different. Even though it's a slightly different mold, it's still different. And that's something that you can enjoy. One of the cool things about it, though, is that, like I said, two of them look really nice. The problem that I'm having, though, is that, well, it's rough because even though these look very nice, the problem is limited accessories as lately. But he wasn't really seen much in the movie. Just two pairs of hands, well, three pairs of hands, closed fists, the holding the gun, and holding the actual gun properly with the trigger finger. So lately they've been skipping out on accessories, but then again, these are cannon fodder compared to Obi-Wan or Jedi Luke, so it makes perfect sense. I just feel like I can get more bang out of my buck with it. But even though, still really nice to army build, you probably need one or two at most. Like I said, if you get the Girl Ooze Panzer tank, it'll be something you really enjoy. Now I know you saw it in the other review where I compared them. I'm actually gonna drop his legs back down, but I'm gonna compare the height comparison to you, so you can see that they're actually. That's one thing I do enjoy that Bandai has done lately, that they've made them all different sizes. So it's not like, oh, we're all the same size and we're all using clones. No, no more clone armies, no more things like that. So between Death, Scarif, a regular old Stormtrooper, what else was there? Oh, and K2SO. So they actually stand at a bunch of different heights. So now that the gang's all here, you can choose and pick which ones you like that are your favorite. Oop. But don't take my word for it. If you are a Star Wars fan, you absolutely need all of these. It's something that if you want to like complete the collection, you obviously want to get them all. My favorite personally is now the Scarif Trooper and the Stormtrooper. Hover Tank is great. Death Trooper is absolutely awesome, but the problem that I have with him is actually taking pictures with him. It's just too shiny black. K2SO is a personal favorite, but he's different. He's not an army builder, at least not in my opinion. But I have the family all here, and I honestly gotta say it looks really great. I'm glad. Just wish they came with more. But the Stormtrooper definitely gives you bang for your buck. The Short Trooper as well. Hover Tank Commander, you definitely just rounding off. You just definitely just rounding off what you finished with the started. But alas, it's really cool, and I hope you guys enjoy the pictures at the end. And I hope you're okay with putting up with me, even though I'm sick. So I appreciate that. In the meantime, guys, I hope you're drinking your water. Hope you're being good. And I hope that you're keeping your hearts full. Later.